What if you only had 5 minutes? 5 minutes to grab what matters most before the floodwater reached your door. In 2025, that's not just a what if. That's exactly what happened to thousands of families across the U.S. No warning, no power, no second chances. Floods in America aren't just rising, they're breaking records. More intense storms, sudden flash floods, and overwhelmed city drains are turning streets into rivers in minutes. From Texas to Vermont, floodwaters are drowning homes, cutting off power, and leaving families stranded. And here's the part most people still don't realize. You don't need to live near a river to get flooded anymore. Flash floods are hitting neighborhoods, suburbs, even places that used to be considered safe. So how do you protect your home, your family, when water starts rising out of nowhere? In this video, we're breaking down the 10 essential flood survival supplies that every household should have on hand, even if you think you're not in a flood zone. You'll also learn how to prepare before, during, and after a flood, using smart, simple steps that most people overlook. And stick with me until the end, because I'll share one item most survival kits forget. But when the flood hits, it could be the one thing that saves your life. You're watching Crisis Ready, the channel that helps you stay prepared, not scared. Tap subscribe now and join thousands of others taking safety into their own hands. All right, before we get into the gear, let's answer the big question. Why are floods getting worse, faster, and deadlier in 2025? We're getting less warning time. NOAA and FEMA, two of the agencies responsible for forecasting and emergency alerts, have both faced budget cuts and staff shortages in 2025. That means fewer eyes on the skies, and more people getting caught off guard. And when alerts come late, or not at all, families pay the price. Let's dive in. Water-safe drinking water is critical. Before we talk about food or shelter, let's talk about the one thing your body can't live without: water. In a flood emergency, clean drinking water becomes one of the first things to disappear. Tap water can get contaminated with sewage, chemicals, or bacteria during a flood. Wells can get flooded, pipes can break, even city water systems can go offline. And here's the problem: most people don't store nearly enough water. You need at least 1 gallon per person per day just for drinking, cooking, and basic hygiene. That means a family of 4 should store at least 12 gallons for a 3-day emergency. And that's the bare minimum. Now, imagine the flood knocks out power, the stores are closed, and the tap water is unsafe. That's when a water filter or purification system becomes a game changer. Even a simple portable water filter can remove bacteria, sediment, and parasites from dirty water. There are filters small enough to fit in your pocket and larger ones that can supply a whole family. If you don't have a filter, water purification tablets or boiling water can also help. But both take time, fuel, or clean containers, which aren't always available in a crisis. Don't wait until your family is thirsty to think about this. Clean water gives you control, peace of mind, and protection from disease, even when everything else is falling apart. And in case you're sheltering in place or stranded for longer than 3 days, a filter could literally keep your family alive. The key is storing water in strong, sealed containers and having backup purification on hand. Now, let's talk about the second thing that disappears just as fast in a disaster. 2. Non-perishable food plus manual can opener. Avoid spoilage if power is out. When a flood hits, grocery stores empty fast. Power goes out, fridges stop working, and just like that, everything perishable spoils within hours. That's why you need non-perishable food, items that don't need refrigeration, cooking, or fresh water. We're talking about canned beans, veggies, fruit, soups, peanut butter, granola bars, trail mix, instant noodles, or oatmeal, vacuum-sealed pouches of tuna, chicken, or rice. Pick foods that are high in calories and easy to eat. Choose items your family actually likes, because no one wants a stomachache during an emergency. Now, here's what many people forget: a manual can opener. If the power's out, your electric one won't work. Don't assume the pull tab on the can will be there. Many don't have it. Also smart to include paper plates and plastic utensils, napkins or disinfectant wipes, a small camping stove or sterno heater if it's safe and you know how to use it. Store everything in a dry, sealed container and check expiration dates once or twice a year. Rotate old items out and replace them. Remember, food brings more than just fuel. In a crisis, it brings comfort, especially to kids. Having familiar, easy-to-eat meals can calm panic and help everyone think more clearly. 3. Battery-powered plus NOAA weather radio. Stay informed when phones fail. When a flood strikes, the first thing many people lose is connection. No cell service, no Wi-Fi, no power, And that's a serious problem because if you don't know what's happening, you can't protect yourself. That's why every emergency kit needs a battery-powered or hand crank radio, especially one that can pick up NOAA weather alerts. These radios are designed to keep working when everything else shuts down. They give you real-time weather updates, emergency warnings, evacuation alerts, road closures, and rescue info. You don't need a fancy one. Just make sure it picks up NOAA frequencies and runs on regular batteries or can be recharged by hand. Some newer models even come with flashlights, solar panels, USB charging ports for phones, SOS alert functions. It may seem old school, but when the cell towers go down and your phone is dead, that little radio becomes your lifeline. You'll know if more rain is coming, you'll hear when it's safe to leave or when to stay put. And in a flood, those few minutes of early warning can save your life. Don't rely on technology that needs a signal. In a real emergency, simple tools are the most reliable. 4. Flashlight plus extra batteries. No light, no warning, no safety. Imagine the power goes out. It's pitch black. You hear water rising outside. You reach for your phone, but the battery's dead. That's why a reliable flashlight isn't just helpful. It's life-saving. In a flood, visibility can drop to 0, especially at night or during heavy rain. You might need to navigate your home in the dark, spot rising water levels, signal for help, avoid sharp debris or slippery steps. And if you're evacuating or checking damage, hands-free headlamps are even better, so you can carry supplies or hold on to loved ones while seeing where you're going. Avoid relying on phone flashlights. They drain batteries fast and aren't built for long use. Instead, go for LED flashlights, bright and energy efficient, waterproof or impact-resistant models. At least 2 flashlights per household plus 1 small backup light, and don't forget extra batteries. Store them in a sealed dry bag, because a flashlight without power is just plastic. In some cases, a solar-powered or hand crank light can be a smart backup too. The goal isn't just to light your way, it's to stay calm, safe, and in control. Because when fear kicks in, even a small beam of light can make a big difference. Now let's move to the next must-have, one that could help you treat injuries when emergency services can't get to you. 5. First aid kit. Because help may not come right away, floods don't just damage homes. They create real danger for your body, cuts, slips, infections, and even serious injuries. And during a disaster, emergency services may be delayed for hours or days. That's why a complete first aid kit is absolutely essential. You don't need hospital-grade gear, but you do need enough to stop bleeding, clean wounds, treat burns, bites, or rashes, relieve pain and fever, manage minor illnesses. At a minimum, your kit should include sterile gauze and bandages, antiseptic wipes or hydrogen peroxide, medical tape and scissors, tweezers, pain relievers like ibuprofen or acetaminophen, burn cream, antibiotic ointment, and antihistamines, gloves, face masks, and a thermometer. Any prescription meds your family needs, emergency contact numbers, and copies of medical info. Put everything in a waterproof bag or box and label it clearly. And remember, you don't have to be a doctor to help someone in a crisis. Just knowing how to clean a cut, treat a burn, or stop bleeding can mean the difference between recovery and infection. If you have kids or elderly family members, you may want to include extras like children's medicine or mobility aids. This kit isn't just for the flood itself, it's for the hours after when you're waiting for help or sheltering without it. 6. Whistle. A simple tool that can save your life. It's small. It weighs almost nothing. But in a flood, a whistle can be the one thing that gets you rescued. If you're trapped in a flooded building, if you're stuck in an attic or on a rooftop, your voice won't carry far, especially over rushing water, thunder, or chaos. But a whistle, that sharp, piercing sound, can cut through noise, alert rescue teams, and help them find you fast. Yelling can strain your voice, but you can blow a whistle every few seconds without losing energy. Here's what to do. Attach it to your go bag or wear it around your neck. Teach kids how and when to use it. Use it in 3 short bursts. That's the international signal for help. Some emergency whistles even work underwater and are designed to be heard from long distances. It's not just a survival tool, it's your voice when you have none. And when minutes matter, a $5 whistle could mean the difference between being found or being missed. 7. Multitool, wrench/pliers. Take control when systems fail. In a flood, things break. Pipes, gas lines, doors, windows, and sometimes you need to act fast before help arrives. That's where a multi-tool comes in. It's compact, it fits in your hand, but it can do dozens of jobs that might save your home or your life. Here's why it matters. You may need to shut off the gas or water line to prevent an explosion or major leak. You might need to cut through wires, open stuck doors, or pry something loose. If your car or shelter is damaged, basic tools can help you escape or make emergency repairs. Look for a multi-tool that includes a small wrench or pliers, knife blades, screwdrivers, wire cutters, cans or bottle openers, scissors, or saw blade. Bonus if it's stainless steel and rust resistant. Floods bring moisture, mud, and corrosion. Don't rely on a junk drawer full of tools scattered around the house. Have one good multi-tool in your emergency bag, ready to grab and go. It's not about being a handyman, it's about having basic control when systems go down and no one's coming to fix them for you. 8. Plastic sheeting plus duct tape. Protect what matters when water starts coming in. Floodwater doesn't wait. It seeps through doors, windows, vents, any opening it can find. But with plastic sheeting and duct tape, you can buy yourself precious time. These two simple items can help you cover broken windows, seal off vents or door gaps, protect electronics or important documents, build a makeshift waterproof barrier, even create an emergency rain cover or shelter. Heavy-duty plastic sheeting is lightweight and rolls up easily. Keep at least a few large sheets in your emergency kit. Clear or black 6mm plastic works best. It's thick enough to resist tearing. Pair it with strong waterproof duct tape and you've got a fast, flexible defense. You can also line backpacks or storage bins to keep supplies dry, wrap clothes or blankets if you're evacuating in the rain. Create a clean, dry surface if the floor is soaked. It's not a perfect solution, but it's a smart buffer between you and the flood. And when things go from bad to worse, that buffer can protect valuables or keep your sleeping area dry through the night. Plastic and tape may seem basic, but in an emergency, basic is often exactly what you need. Ready for 9. Change of clothes plus rain gear plus sturdy shoes. Stay dry, warm, and ready to move. When you think about survival, clothes might not seem like a big deal. But in a flood, the wrong clothes can lead to hypothermia, infections, or serious injury. Water makes everything heavier, colder, and more dangerous. And if you get wet and have no way to change, your body loses heat fast, especially at night or in windy conditions. That's why your emergency kit should include waterproof rain gear like ponchos or jackets, sturdy shoes or boots with good grip. Avoid flip-flops, sandals, or thin sneakers. They fall apart in mud and floodwater, and they won't protect you from sharp debris. Also pack dry socks. Wet feet can lead to blisters and infections. Gloves and hats if it's cold. Lightweight layers you can adjust as needed. Seal all clothes in a plastic bag or vacuum pouch to keep them dry. This also helps if you're forced to evacuate fast or shelter overnight. And here's a tip. Choose dark, neutral-colored clothing that dries fast and doesn't show dirt easily. Avoid cotton. It holds water. Go for synthetic or quick-dry materials if you can. Having dry, warm clothes isn't just about comfort. It's about staying safe, mobile, and strong enough to deal with what's ahead. Emergency blanket or sleeping bags. Stay warm when the temperature drops. Floods don't always happen in warm weather. Even in summer, soaked clothes and cold nights can lead to chills, fatigue, or even hypothermia, especially in children or older adults. That's why you need something to help your body hold heat, even if you're wet, stranded, or without power. The best solution: emergency blankets, also called space blankets or mylar blankets. They're lightweight, waterproof. Reflect your own body heat to keep you warm, small enough to fit in your pocket. Keep one for every person in your household. They're cheap, easy to store, and can also be used as makeshift shelter covers, ground insulation, or rain barriers. If you have room in your kit or car, add sleeping bags, especially waterproof or thermal-rated ones, foam mats or inflatable pads to stay off the cold ground. Why does this matter? Because once you're cold, wet, and tired, everything gets harder. You think slower, you move slower, you make mistakes, and in an emergency, that can be dangerous. A warm, dry place to rest, even just on the floor of a safe room, can help your family recharge and stay sharp. Comfort equals clarity, and clarity keeps you alive. Cash. Small bills. Because cards won't work when power is out. In today's world, we swipe, tap, and eat and go, but during a flood, no power means no card readers, no ATMs, and no banking apps. That's why you need cash, and not just any cash. Small bills, 5s, 10s, and 20s. Here's why. Gas stations might still be open, but only taking cash. Grocery stores running on backup power may limit purchases. You might need to pay for a motel, ride, or supplies. No receipts, no apps, no excuses. How much should you carry? Start with at least $100 to $200 in small bills. More if you can. Keep it sealed in a waterproof envelope or pouch. And don't keep it all in one spot. Split it between your go bag and glove box, just in case. You don't need thousands. But when systems go down, even $20 can open doors. Next, let's talk about something most people overlook, but absolutely shouldn't: your important documents. Copies of important documents prove who you are when systems are down. In a flood emergency, you may have to evacuate fast, sometimes with just minutes to spare. If your home is damaged or destroyed, replacing documents afterward can be slow, stressful, and expensive. That's why it's critical to keep copies of your most important papers ready to go. Start with identification: driver's licenses, passports, social security cards, birth certificates for every family member. Next, include home and car insurance documents, medical records, vaccination cards, bank info, and any legal papers like property deeds or custody papers. If someone in your household has a serious medical condition, include a list of prescriptions and doctor's contacts too. Print copies and store them in a waterproof, zip-sealed bag or folder. Even better, also save digital scans on a secure USB drive or encrypted cloud storage. But never rely on digital access alone. If you don't have power or internet, your phone won't help. When disaster strikes, shelters, aid agencies, or banks may need to verify your identity to provide help. Having those documents ready can speed up access to relief funds, emergency housing, and medical treatment. It also helps avoid complications if you're traveling across state lines or staying in a hotel. It's one of the simplest prep steps, but often the most overlooked. Because when everything is underwater, you don't want to be the one saying, "I can't prove who I am," and if you found this helpful, hit that subscribe button.